Today we are here to talk about Ben Simmons. What is you doing, Ben Simmons? What is taking place next? And could he actually stay a Philadelphia 76er for a little while longer? I guess we'll have to wait and see. We'll talk about it right after the bumper. What's good people? Jeff Lightsy Jr. here with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload every single day. Today we're here to talk about Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, as we all know by now, reported to camp down in Philadelphia. Ben Simmons, as we know by now, has at least for the time being ended his holdout and looks like he wants to collect those checks. Ben Simmons, as we know by now, has reported back to Philadelphia, even though his condo was for sale, and he demanded a trade, and he swore he'll never play for the Sixers again, and he didn't talk to the Sixers all offseason, and now he's back in Philadelphia. This is funny because it looks like, as of now we have to wait and see what developments come of it, but the reports are saying that Rich Paul is talking to the Philadelphia 76ers. As we know, Ben Simmons is back, has taken his COVID test, will be, back at practice. And Doc Rivers, as of now, believes Ben Simmons will play in the final preseason game or games. I don't even know what they have left. And will start the season with the Philadelphia 76ers. This is hilarious because all we heard all off season, now obviously this was reports and we didn't hear it directly from Ben and yada, 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 was that Ben Simmons was never coming back to Philly. Ben Simmons wasn't taking Daryl Morey or Elton Brand or Doc Rivers or anybody from the Sixers phone calls. All we heard was Ben Simmons will never be a Sixer again. Ben Simmons wants to play for teams in Cali, and then he opened it up to every team in the NBA. Any team that doesn't play in the city of Philadelphia and is not named the 76ers, Ben Simmons is willing to play for us. These are the reports we were hearing. And now it seems like he's back with the 76ers, and all of that was hoopla, right? Because you got to remember, Ben Simmons still has 4 years left on his deal. Ben Simmons still has over $100 million left on his deal. Ben Simmons has not been paid his $8.25 million that was scheduled to go to him when? October 1st. And he's been fined over $1 million for missing preseason games. So we're talking about almost $10 million. Yeah, that'll make you show up. If your job takes $10 million from you, that'll make you show up to work, unless your name's Kyrie Irving there, of course. But in Ben Simmons' case, it wasn't about a jab. It wasn't about anything but the fact that he played bad. Ben Simmons, this is how backwards this is. Ben Simmons demanded a trade and wanted out of Philadelphia because he played bad. How the hell are you going to be mad at the team when you were turning down dunks and you were turning down layups and you were running from the free throw line and you were outplayed in the playoffs? How are you going to be mad at the Sixers? The Sixers have done nothing but do right by Ben Simmons. The Sixers stood by him when they shouldn't have, when they were talking about playing him in the fourth quarter, when they were doing hack-a-bit and he was shooting 30% as a guard, 30% from the free throw line. Let's listen to that again. Ben Simmons was shooting 30% from the free throw line in the playoffs. No, Ben, you have no reason to be mad at anyone but yourself. And I'm not surprised that he showed up for camp. I'm not surprised that he showed up to get paid. I'm not surprised that he'll probably play this year with the Philadelphia 76ers after this big crybaby tantrum he just had this whole offseason. Why? Because nobody wants Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is supreme. Don't get me wrong. Ben Simmons is supremely talented. Like a top 15 talent, maybe even a top 10 talent in the league. But it's not the fact that Ben Simmons just doesn't shoot the ball because, he still doesn't shoot the ball. It's the fact that he won't even try. It's the fact that he doesn't work on his game. At least it doesn't look like he does. The product, and here's the thing. Ben Simmons, because I've seen workout videos, and I see workout videos of everybody, but Ben Simmons looks like he works out, but it doesn't translate to the court. How in the hell are you 5-6 years into the league and your game that year 5 looks the same as it did year 1? That to me is a problem. That to me is a problem. Once again, that to me is a problem. Ben Simmons, you can't be mad at anyone but yourself. Look in the mirror, guy. Look in the mirror. But he showed up to camp. Now, Ben Simmons, this is interesting because I was reading this thing from Bleacher Report. Hit the thumbs up button. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button. And leave a comment. Leave your thoughts in the chat, thoughts in the chat, thoughts in the chat. I was reading this thing from Bleacher Report that says the NBA, because of Ben Simmons, and not just Ben Simmons, but other players like Anthony Davis and James Harden, and now Ben Simmons, the latest, because of these guys, the NBA and the NBA PA, well, mainly the NBA, it's the owners because they're the ones that's pissed, will look to potentially change some rules. Now, what rules is it that they could change? Now, if you don't know much about the NBA created this thing called the supermax, right? So the supermax, they pretty much created this after the Big Three was formed in Miami, and then Kevin Durant went and played with Golden State. I was like, oh, hell no. Too many guys teaming up. So they tried to slow it down, and they created this thing called the supermax. And the supermax is where your current team, the team that you're drafted on, you play for, whatever, can offer you more money during your free agency than any other team in the league. Like, it's like 30% more, right? So if I'm, let's say, Ben Simmons, for instance, or Joel Embiid or whoever, re-signing with the Philadelphia 76ers, I can make, let's give it a nice round number, $200 million, versus if I left and went to sign with another team, they can only offer me roughly, $140 million. So you'd be leaving like $60 million on the table, right? Like something huge, because that's their objective, to try to get guys to stay with their current teams, to try to get guys who develop into superstars to stay with a lot of times the small market teams, like your Zion Williamson, to get him to stay with the Pelicans and not try to hightail it for like the Knicks or something, right? Or to get a guy like Luka Doncic to stay with the Dallas Mavericks and not try to team up with AD and LeBron in LA. You know what I'm saying? Like, to try to do those kind of things, or whoever the hell Oklahoma City drafts with their 50 first round picks over the next 5 years to get them to stay in OKC and not try to hightail it to Golden State. Like, that is that's their motive. That's their thing. But a lot of these guys are signing their deals, right? They're getting their money. James Harden, Ben Simmons, and then they're just demanding trades. So they'll have like 3-4 years left on their deal. Ben Simmons had 4. James Harden, I want to say, had 3. And then they're still like, I want out. Or James Harden might have had 2. Maybe he only had 2. And like, I still want out. And the NBA's like, man, what the hell's going on? Like, our plan is starting to backfire, right? You get a few rare guys that are turning down, the max deals to sign somewhere else. But most of them are staying, like the guys who come off rookie contracts, Luka, Trey. You got Giannis that stayed in Milwaukee. A lot of people was worried about that. Jimmy Butler just re-signed with the Heat. Like, so it's seeming to work. But then you see these guys get upset with their organization 1 or 2 years into their deal, and they're demanding trade. So now the NBA is exploring the idea of potentially making a rule to basically say you can't demand a trade. And that, to me, is a horrible idea. That is horrible. It should stay the hell away, far, far, far away from that. But if the players are goofy enough to agree to that, which the NBA players are really smart. Like, the NBA players have like the best collective bargaining agreement out of like all the sports leagues, right? The NBA, and I want to say baseball, footballs are screwed. They're screwed. They have a terrible deal. But the NBA guys have a pretty sweet deal. And that's why a lot of these guys who are not even that good in a lot of cases get paid a whole lot of money. So we'll see what happens with that. Maybe that's just talk because the owners are upset and pissed with Ben Simmons and James Harden and Anthony Davis. But you never know, because these owners, these billionaires, they're slick. And they try to maneuver around the rules. We'll see what ends up happening. Leave your thoughts in the chat. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Once again, I'm Jeff Lightsy Jr. with the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. You can follow me on Instagram at JLightsy7. Twitter's the same thing, at JLightsy7. And for those of you on Facebook, it's Jeff Lightsy Sports on Facebook. That is Jeff Lightsy Sports on Facebook. Don't forget the All Black National Convention, October 29th through November 1st down in Orlando, Florida. I hope to see you all there. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out, and I will see you next time. Peace.